when I'm taking notes for a songwriting session, I usually like to do it on either my phone or on a computer in a word processor. My logic for that for the last few years that I've been doing that has been so that I can easily copy, paste, chop and change without having a load of scribbles on the page. Do you normally still use pen and paper? And if so, why?
I do prefer pen and paper. I really don't like it when you're in a session and you're just sharing like a Google Doc or something to try and work through it, because I feel like we end up spending more time just thinking about who's going to type the thing down on the Google Doc at that point. I do work best pen and paper rather than typey. It's just how I'm used to working more than anything. But I think that from having been in sessions where people don't do that, I find that you end up editing the document when you can edit it. You end up like taking things out, putting lines in, and then because of that, you're essentially deleting something you had before. You don't have a record of that then. You don't have a note of it anymore. You just have the version you settled on. And like 2 days down the line, someone might come back to those notes and be like, you know what, actually, I preferred this line we had before. And like now you don't have it because you've deleted in that Google Doc. Because you can always just type it out later and make edits to stuff. Like, you know, you can scribble down several different verses and just recombine them later on. It's not like just because you've written it down on a piece of paper and you'd have to rewrite it or scribble something out, it's the end of the world. But I find that, one, I think it promotes people to actually commit more to ideas in a session because it's more of a faff to delete something if you've written it in pen on paper. But also it allows you to keep a better record of ideas that you've had as you've gone because you've made a note of them somewhere and it's still there. Because I find a lot when like you're working with like a computer program in a session, like people will spend an hour discussing one word because they can just keep deleting it and putting a new word in, deleting it and putting a new word in. Whereas when you're putting pen to paper, there's this need to like, let's sit, let's think, let's come up with an idea. We can always put in a placeholder lyric maybe, but I feel like it makes you actually engage your brain more and make a proper decision about why you want a particular lyric, as opposed to just popping in every option that might work and seeing how it looks kind of thing.